Hi everybody and welcome back to the Going For It Sim Studio. As we near the end of the outdoor season and come into that indoor season that I like so much that, let's be honest, is all year for me, as the majority of golfers start looking at playing inside of a simulator, I promised that I would share my experience with everybody else so that you can not only be a better golfer, but I can make sure you don't injure yourself or waste your time as you're paying hourly in a sim or that you just spent thousands of dollars on to install in your home. So from my experience, let me tell you some mistakes that you can avoid that not only will make you a better golfer, but it's gonna make your body a heck of a lot happier. Let's talk about that right now. So the common thing that I get when I talk to people about playing indoor golf is I get a lot of, I know man, I've been doing this for a long time, or hey, you don't have to tell me, I know what I'm doing. Right, okay, so let's go over some of those mistakes that I have made, that I have seen others make, so that you can become a better golfer, stay safe, and actually come into the next season improved and not take your skill and go backwards because of bad habits that you have created within your simulator. Now, this doesn't matter if you've got a About Golf simulator studio like I have here, if you just installed your first sim, or if you have a membership at a local sim house that you're spending your hard-earned hourly dollars to get in there and take an hour or whatever it is that you get at a time. So what can we do first of all to make sure that we don't injure ourselves, right? So, hey, I know how to warm up, Jeremy. I've been playing golf for 30 years. You know what? You're probably right, but let me tell you what's crazy. When you have sim time, or if you have a sim at your house, especially if you have a sim at your house, it is incredibly easy to walk in that door, walk out here, turn the sim on, and just start banging away at balls, right? And it's generally warm. You're at your house or wherever you are, you're not thinking about it, and next thing you know, you're on the driving range hitting your driver as hard as you possibly can. In fact, you're probably swinging out of your shoes. So what you have to do is you need to force yourself to warm up. And there's a couple really easy ways that we can do this, right? As your simulator is starting up, or as you're waiting for your turn at your hourly bay, start stretching, start doing some mobility, start moving around and just getting loose. I'm not gonna go over a routine for you. There are 100 of them online. You probably have your own. Whatever it is, you need to do it. And then what I have learned to be the very best, not only for my tempo, but for a better range session that leads into a better round on the sim, or just overall making sure that I warm up properly, is I start slow. I start with some chips. Then I move up to some pitch shots, then I hit some longer wedge shots, then I move into my irons, then I start hitting my driver towards the end of a range session. Very similar to what you do outside, but when you're inside, you just have to be a little bit more intentional, because even if you have been doing that entire regiment for 30 years, you're out of your element now. It feels different when you're in here, you're not at your normal comfort place, and next thing you know, you're just trying to get a biggest number as you possibly can on the driver. Which leads to my number 2 mistake that you just can't be doing. It is, for some reason, I don't know what it is about a simulator. Why do people have to come in and hit as hard as they possibly can? I swear I've lost shoes in here because folks come in and they swing out of their shoes and then you can never find them again, right? I don't know what it is. They just see a number up here and they want to make it as long as possible. Now, I think that's because of a lot of fear and self-doubt, because simulators don't lie. And if you tell everybody that you can hit 330-yard carry, well, this thing's gonna tell you. And so people immediately start swinging harder than they would outside because they've inflated those numbers a little bit. It's really dangerous to do, especially if you don't warm up like we just talked about. You are guaranteed to injure yourself, and not only will that be a very long off season for you, but you're guaranteed to set yourself back as you go into the next season, and that's something that we absolutely want to avoid. So what else can we do to make sure that we take our indoor game that we have gained throughout the off season outside? Well, let's start with the little things. Practice with the footwear you play with outside. Don't come out in your house shoes, in your flip-flops. Every once in a while, because you're just screwing around, like that's great. But if you're doing intentional practice and you're actually trying to get better, you want to mimic as much outside as you possibly can. So please, wear the footwear that you would wear out there. Heck, I would even wear your golfing kit so that you feel the weight of yourself as you're hitting the ball. Put your whatever you have in your back pocket, if you're carrying around your golf journal and you're keeping track of stuff, put a ball in your front pocket if that's how you normally play. Hook everything to your belt. I've seen that dude online, like whatever it is. I would get set up the exact same outside as you do inside so that you could take that outside and any improvement doesn't feel awkward. Another thing that we want to be careful of is we want to have a little bit of simulator safety. So it's pretty easy to have stuff everywhere in your sim. There's balls all over the place. I have heard about it, and I've actually seen it happen where people step on their clubs and they break them. I've seen people step on balls and twist an ankle and fall down. Luckily, that hasn't happened to myself, but we need to be careful there. As you build your simulator, safety should be a very high priority, if not the first, right? You need to make sure that whatever you have around here, if there is any chance of a ball hitting that, is that ball going to ricochet and hurt you or do damage to anything behind or around the sim? Look at every single detail. There are minor areas all over the place that can do some serious damage. And please, again, don't tell me, Jeremy, I've been golfing for 30 years. I haven't shanked it in 15. Cool. That's awesome. It's going to happen inside. And what's going to happen after that is really going to hurt. I've actually been hit by a golf ball that ricocheted off a bar I used to have up here. Got me right in the eye like 6 months into this challenge. Was gnarly. I can still see that ball coming at me and I was like, whoa, and boom, man, I got so lucky that it was a softer hit or something, but man, it got me right on the cheekbone. Doesn't feel very good. Luckily, my car's back here. I haven't had to get hit, so I'm pretty happy with that. So some simulator specific features that we can use to force ourselves to take our time. What does that even mean? I can play a round of 18 in 45 minutes. Does anybody out there play a round of 18 in 45 minutes outside? No, absolutely not. So it changes the way we play because we don't have the chance for our body to rest and wind down in between shots. So not only is it a different type of game when you're playing that fast, it's a heck of a lot more fitness based, but your swing feels change a little bit. And it's really easy to get hurt because you can just rally through a round and your body doesn't have that chance to kind of relax and recover. Golf is a very twist-heavy motion, which our bodies do not like. So what you can do within a sim is, especially if you're on a driving range or even when you're playing, About Golf has the feature that the auto continue has an adjustable time limit. So you can say, hey, I want the ball to pop up immediately because I'm just trying to get a feel down. I want to be able to pepper balls. Like I just said, not to, but you know what I mean. So make it long, 10 seconds at the minimum. I'd go longer, to be honest, because I had Jeff Ritter, my coach, told me once, you should not be hitting that many balls that quickly. I told him how many I would go through generally in 30 or 40 minutes, and he's like, no. He's like, you should be hitting a ball a minute at the most, right? If you're gonna get the most out of what you're doing, you should be practicing whatever feeling you're looking at, and then make a swing, check the result, analyze what you did, and you move forward. Now that's if we're doing work, but what if we're just out playing around? Find a time that gets you 18 holes in the time allotment you have. If you have a simulator at your home or access to it with unlimited time, that's easy. Make it long. Get 18 holes done in an hour and a half. That's plenty of time, and it is still a heck of a lot better than it is outside, right? And even if you're with a buddy, that kind of builds it in because you guys are switching on and off all the time. You don't have to have a built-in gap, right? Especially if you're doing a range session. Those can get dangerous. I don't know what it is about being inside. You don't have to chase balls. You don't have to refill your bucket, right? You don't only buy a bucket of balls, so it's not like in your mind you're like, okay, I only have this many balls and I have this much time to do it, so I'm gonna take my time and get through these balls. Like, it's not like that when you're in here. This ball hits that screen and generally bounces back here, and I never have to find one. I never have to go get more. So you can just boom, 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 boom. You can get through 100 balls in kind of half an hour, if not less. I mean, it's pretty wild how fast it adds up. And there's a couple downsides to that. And this is where it kind of comes into, you could actually put your game at a detriment at an indoor simulator in the off season. You totally can, because the bad habits that you can build can just get so bad And it's at a level where you kind of have it, and if you're not good enough to notice what you're doing, next thing you know, it's just a horrible issue that now you're going into the season with, and you forgot how to play golf because of a habit that you pulled on indoors. So how do we kind of fix that? You just don't hit balls like crazy. That's the number one thing. As soon as you notice you're having a bad day and you're starting to hit things that you know is not normal to you, get out. If you've paid for an hour, do something else. Get off the driving range, play a game for fun. That's my recommendation. If you go to the range and you hit a couple balls and you realize you're doing something you're not supposed to, you're early extending again, you're coming over the top after you've been working on coming from the inside, you're shanking it because you're releasing too early, whatever that is, get out of there, click on that one there that says games, and go have a good time. Go do something where it doesn't matter, because I promise you're still gonna play golf. You're still gonna have a lot of really good shots, and you're still gonna be able to leave with a smile on your face. If you stay at the range and try and fix that, or try and work through it, you're gonna absolutely make that worse. I've done it. You're gonna make it worse. You're gonna possibly hurt yourself. You're gonna build a habit that's just gonna be bad news for your swing. So my recommendation really, you guys, is just be smart when you're inside of a simulator. You have to be more smart when you're here than you do outside. You just have to be. There's just so many environmental aspects in here that change the way you play. And I've said it multiple times. I don't care if you've played golf your entire life. It's gonna be different when you get in here, flat out. And I know it's weird, and everybody has this negativity towards simulator golf, but this can be the number one training aid you'll ever use in your life. It can also be the number one reason to ruin your swing and get yourself hurt. So be careful. Utilize a time gap that forces you not to hit a crazy amount of balls, right? Make sure you set yourself up exactly how you go outside. Dress for success, okay? Have a plan when you come into a simulator. Know what you're gonna do. Are you playing around that day? Are you gonna play some games for fun? Are you gonna work on a specific lesson that you just worked on? Have a plan B in case things aren't swinging right. Like I said, jump on there and play some games, okay? Make sure that your area is clean. Make sure that your entire simulator is safe from any hard objects that balls can bounce off of. Check your balls to make sure they're not scuffed so it doesn't ruin that screen. Take care of the sim will take care of you. And most important, have a good time. Sim golf's amazing. Whether you're playing around, practicing, or screwing around on some games, man, it's a great time. It'll make you fall in love with golf again. Gets you through the winter so that you don't have to keep going backwards 1 step and forward 2 steps during the season. You get to go forward 7 steps in a simulator. You show up outside and you crush all your buddies. So by all means, start planning for your sim season. Get your membership, build your sim, play in your sim, whatever you need to do. Until next time, I'm gonna continue sharing my experience so that you can become a better golfer, have a lot more fun, and even start golfing the right way. See you next time.